Hello! Just wanted to have a quick look at this really beautiful G-Shock Casio that I've bought recently from Creation Watches. This one is the GA B2100 FC3A, and they do this little run in a black, a white and this olive green model. As soon as I saw this one online, I really liked the olive green, a nice masculine colour I think, but I really liked these little touches of colour on the case and the bezel and you know, around the dial there. Absolutely loved this one as soon as I saw it. Creation Watches had this much cheaper than anywhere else I could find it. I paid 94 quid for this from there, including shipping, in June 2025. I've bought 5 or 6 watches from Creation Watches, never with any problem whatsoever. I think these are classed as grey market watches that you buy from there, so they don't come with your original manufacturer's warranty or anything. I mean, it's a G-Shock. Do I need a manufacturer's warranty on this watch? No, I don't. And I just think this is an absolute stunner. I am a fan of the Casio models. These watches picked up the Casio moniker nickname due to their slight resemblance to the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak models with their kind of octagonal case. This one was the Mystic Forest model, I think, and this one is the yellow one. And here it is on my approximately 7-inch wrist. I do tend to shy away from some G-Shocks because they're absolutely massive and look ridiculous, but I don't think this one is too big. I'm usually a fan of small watches, like, you know, the F91W or something like that, and this is a much bigger watch than that, but I don't think it's too huge or anything, and I think it wears really nicely. Definitely not as big, chunky and fat as some of the more ridiculous G-Shocks that you can buy. This one will still slip under cuffs and gloves nicely. Strap is quite comfortable on these ones, I think, and it's just a fantastic watch as well as looking quite cool. It's got some really great features. This one is solar powered. I've only just got it, so I don't know if you can see there, it is still only on medium, but on my other solar powered G-Shocks, once you've got it topped up nicely to high, these do tend to hold their charge really well, and with it being solar powered, you shouldn't need to change the internal battery for at least 10 years. I've heard people saying their solar G-Shocks are still running after 20 years. So yeah, that's good. Much less faffing about with a battery. You can see there it also says Bluetooth. So this watch, when you first get it, pair it up with the Casio app on your phone and you can control and set every single setting on here via the app, which to be honest is much less hassle and easier than doing it on your watch itself, although you can set everything via the watch itself as well. These watches have a really decent backlight that you can set to come on for either 1 second or 3 seconds, either on the watch. Again, easy to do it via the app, which lights up the entire screen really nicely. Lights accessed by pressing that top right button there. The mode button at the bottom left here scrolls through the different features on the watch. You get a world time there. Mine's set to New York and it's 7:57 AM in New York City at the moment. I'm in the UK. And you got access to a stopwatch with various different features. Don't tend to use the stopwatch all that often, but that is fantastic that it's on there. If I need to time stuff, brilliant. And I don't tend to use a stopwatch very often because this watch also has a timer. I have this on a 3-minute setting as a general rule. I mainly use it for brewing cups of tea. Start my little timer there. See it's ticking down. Stop it with that button. Reset it with that button. Next mode, it's got an alarm clock. I think there's 4 different alarms on this and an hourly chime as well. You can see just on the screen there that I have got this set to do the hourly chime signal there. I don't have the alarm set as a rule because I tend to use my phone as my alarm clock. I wouldn't trust this to be loud enough to wake me up in the mornings, but very handy if you need alarms. You can set these as well, the alarms on this. Again, much easier via the app to go off on a specific date. If you need a reminder for a specific date, someone's birthday or something like that, well, you can do that as well. Then it goes back to another press of the button. It goes back to normal timekeeping mode, and it shows you whether you're low, medium or high solar charge level. 200 meters water resistance. A super tough, super durable, really cool watch in mineral glass, protecting the dial there. and it is slightly recessed by a mil or so, so you've got some protection against knocks and scratches there. But yeah, it's a really nice watch. I just love those colours. It's a real beauty. It's a keeper. The Bluetooth sync feature is so good, and one of the things I love most about these watches, because it'll sync up to your phone 4 times a day via Bluetooth, and you're always going to have absolutely accurate time because it's syncing to your phone. So basically you've got an atomic clock here due to the fact that it syncs to your phone. So always absolutely accurate time. Even if you don't have it sync to your phone several times a day, this is rated to gain or lose a maximum of 15 seconds a month. So a highly accurate watch even without the Bluetooth function. Mystic Forest one doesn't have Bluetooth, and you can see there it's about 1.5 seconds out of sync. What are we, 25th of June? I actually synced this one on the 1st of June, so we're going to be gaining about 1.5 seconds a month on this non-Bluetooth version. So yeah, super duper accurate watches regardless, but I personally really love that this is pinpoint accurate to the second all the time. Love that feature, really cool. Okay, to sync this one up to your phone, you find your Casio Watches app. It didn't have an exact picture of this model on their system, so I've just had to edit the name and use a picture of one of their other models. No connection, it says there. First time you get it, it'll guide you through how to pair the watch with the phone. You only have to do that once, and then when you want to pair the watch, you press and hold the mode button. Till it goes to the little Bluetooth symbol there, if you can see that. Then it's going to pair up. Connected. Oh, my battery needs a good charge. But then that takes you to this screen here where you can access everything basically on the watch. You can set, it's 5 alarms, so you can set any 5 alarms, turn the signal or hourly chime on or off. Access your timer, say I want that on 4 minutes. If you change any settings, you then send that setting to the watch. There you go, we had a little OK on there, so that's done. Sent that to my watch so that that's ready to use then when I want it. Let's just put that back to 3 minutes. There you go, the OK symbol's on there. Yeah, then you've got this reminder facility. This watch will display notifications on the days for which schedules and anniversaries have been registered, so you can set these to go off on specific times. Title, put whatever you want in there, when you want it to alert you. Only once, weekly, monthly, yearly, training period, I don't know what that is. The date you want it to go off, it'll chime to remind you, and displayed along the screen there will be the details of what your reminder is. So yeah, kind of cool. Again, I would just use my phone for reminders, but you know, handy to have that there. And we've got a world time screen whereby you can choose wherever you want as your world time city there. Say I've got this set on New York. Well, there's every time zone in the world covered here. You can either search on the map or search by city by typing it in there. Send your setting to the watch, and when you either select it on here, your world time zone there, it'll show you the alternative time in your bottom window as I showed you earlier. Useful for travelling, going on holiday, etc. And you've got your time synchronization settings. So there you go, that just tells you about that. And I have that switched on because I want it to sync with my phone so that the time is always absolutely accurate. And you can, if for some reason your watch gets knackered up and goes out of sync, you can manually adjust and reset the hour and minute hands if for whatever reason this does go out of sync. That did actually happen to me on this watch. I didn't have the app, so I had to do it manually, which isn't a major problem, but great that you can do it via the app to make sure your hands are lined up perfectly. Phone finder, this is a great feature. If you could occasionally come in handy, I have used this a couple of times on one of my other watches. You press and hold the bottom right button. Yeah, it plays a really loud tone. Press and hold that. It'll ping your phone after a few seconds if you're connected to it, and yeah, you can find your phone. Oh, it's probably down the side of the sofa where it always is. Potentially quite useful. And then you've got the watch settings, key sounds on or off. Oh, it's disconnected. Right, let me just reconnect that again. Press and hold the lower left button. Yeah, there we go. That's going to reconnect again. Dead simple to do and quick. Yeah, so we're now connected. So light settings, 1.5 seconds or 3 seconds for the duration of the light being on. I've got it on 3 seconds. I'm getting free power charging, aren't I? So let's have it on for 3 seconds, because I don't need to worry about battery drain with this watch. Watch display, 12 or 24 hour time. And another really essential feature for me as an English person is to have the date format with day of the month first, then month. On some watches like this one, it's month first, then the date, which is just a bit confusing for me. That's not how we have our format in the UK. On this watch, I can have the day first, the date first, so 25th of June, and then the month, so 25/6. Just easier for me as an Englishman. And then language settings there. Power saving, well, I just have that on. It recommends you have it on. The watch face will go blank if not used between 10 PM and 6 AM. If you need the watch to come back on, you just press one of the buttons and the display comes back on. Just saves a little bit of power. If I'm asleep, I might as well have that off. It's got DST settings. I just have that set to auto. Saves me the hassle of resetting my watches by an hour twice a year, which just drives me mad because I've got a ton of watches. Don't need to do it with this watch. It'll do it automatically. Cool. And there's an option to change the time display. If I'm flying to New York, just go into this setting and I'll have my New York time on there. Send the setting to the watch and it will just auto update the hands. Let's do it. There you go. That's now altering the hands, and it's going to go to what time it is in New York City. Whee! There you go. Nearly 13 minutes past 8 in New York City. Okay, let's change that back. And that should go back. There we go. It's going to go back to my local time now. Whee! It was quite cool to see the hands doing that. And there's just a connection time with the app setting page there. Without any action, this will disconnect within 3 minutes. Yeah, whatever, that's fine. Cool, 3 minutes, 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And that's it. And then there's a tutorial. You can access the instruction manual online, and there's a bit of advertising bump on there. So just really handy to be able to access all the features from the app. It's quicker and easier to do that, I think. When you're done and you want to disconnect manually, just press any button, the mode button there. And it's gone back to normal timekeeping with seconds in that window there. The date and month in the right format for me as a UK citizen there, 25th of June. And it's showing me the charge on there again. What do you reckon? Absolutely ace watch, I think. Love it. Like all these three, they do them in such a wide range of colours and everything. But yeah, just a really nice, useful, feature-packed, durable, functional watch. I must say, the only thing I'm not mad keen on is these negative displays. Same as on the Mystic Forest version. I think it as well, looks-wise, I think a normal grey positive display would have looked really nice on this watch. This little screen is tiny, and having a negative display, it's perfectly legible. But it's more legible with this positive display, and I just wish they'd stop putting negative displays on their watches because they're just not as good. Still legible, still usable, all round great watch. What do you reckon to this one? Oh, I nearly forgot to mention one other quite useful feature on this watch. The screen is not covered at the minute, but sometimes, obviously, when the minute hand and the hour hand are going round, the little tiny screen will be obscured. So if you want to temporarily move the hands out of the way to access the info on the digital screen, if you press and hold the light button and press the mode button, it will shift the hands out of the way, which, you know, I angle in the watch. I don't really very often need to use that, but yeah, that's a really useful little feature if you need it. And to return the hands to normal time mode, you can either press and hold the light button and press the mode button again, and it'll go back to where it was, telling the time. And the other way to do it is to press and hold the mode button, and it'll just return the hands to the correct time. Useful little feature. Nice. I also didn't discuss the loom on these hands. I've darkened this room now and you can see the loom. It's pretty good on the hands. It'll glow for a good couple of hours. There's no markings on the dial itself. I guess if the watch is on your hand, you're taking an estimate at the time there. If you need the light on, put the light on. But the loom itself is not bad. The hands themselves are quite large, so there's room for a fair amount of loom within the hands themselves, and it's not bad. you've got a light on there anyway, so it's not essential. But yeah, the loom is okay.